We love you all.
All right. You ready or what?
Man, you hype. Yeah,
Welcome
I'm
back
ready.
to another episode of Gritty Knows Best, baby. That's right. And guess what? It is also the first episode of season 5. Yeah. Why is it season 5 now? Because I messed up the whole damn schedule. And we'll talk about that later on in the show because we got tons of other things to discuss. So if you want to know about the nuts and bolts and deets of the show, then, stick around to the very end and we'll talk about that. But we got other things to discuss. EJ is with me right now with a freshly shaved face. I don't know, you got a job interview or a modeling gig or something with that face? You got it all shaved perfectly.
Nah, I just, it's just easier to maintain when there's nothing to maintain,
That's right. You're minimalistic with your facial hair. You like that shave, but I think you look good with the beard, though, personally.
Thank you.
Personally, for me. You were on the last episode that we did where we discussed chaos in our neighborhood. I discussed a SWAT team coming to my residence. I don't live in a house where those coming to my building and going on the floor beneath me and evacuating a man who was getting ready to jump off his balcony and stab people. All kind of crazy stuff.
Crazy.
We talked about a lot of chaotic things. People getting shot up with turkey bullets, whatever that is. But I've neglected to tell you one more incident that happened in my building. Totally forgot, but it was one of my faves because I've never heard of anything like this. This had to be around the same time as the SWAT team incident. A woman was charged with arson in my building because she set a floor mat on fire and slid it under somebody's door, under their apartment door. She set it on fire, slid on the door. The guy stomped it out and then chased her ass down the hallway. And I don't think he caught her because I think she was already in the elevator. And then like in a movie, he's coming up to the elevator and just boop, boop.
He's running.
Caught him, got him, boop, done. But I saw her mugshot. You know what I'm saying? And she got charged for the arson. My thing is, though, because I don't think you could slide anything under my door because if you could, that's what the building would do because they gave me notices about stuff like, yo, there's too much trash. Not for me personally, but like if there's something crazy going on in the building. Door? Yeah, like if there's something crazy going on in the building, they're like, yo, y'all acting too wild up in here. They'll put a notice on my door like for all the residents. If they could slide it under my door, I'm sure they would. So they can't slide anything under my door. I don't know how this woman made this happen. And also, how do you slide something that's already on fire? Like, did she have a stick? Like, she put thought into this, I guess. I don't know how this is a magic trick. It was magical.
You slide, you light one end, and you slide that end under first. And you don't worry about the other end. Now, that'll catch fire later, Don't worry about it.
I like what you just did there because you put thought into that. I don't think I put any thought into it. I like that much thought. That was good. Because I'm thinking, you just set it all ablaze. So you saying you set the first half and quickly slide it under, and by the time it gets under, it will all be.
Who cares? Who cares?
It will all be
about the rest?
incinerated.
You're just starting a fire. Who cares?
Wow. Well, if I ever need to do something like that, I know who I'm calling. It seems like you have experience with this. Have you done this before?
No.
Okay.
But I know someone who
of a person who's done some arson jobs. Really? Mm-hmm. Did you accompany them on these arson jobs? It seems like you did. Were you their apprentice?
No, but I know about. I get the details after.
So if you need to do something, there you go. Now, for the people listening,
I know what not to do. Let's just say that. I know.
Listen, that's very important when you're dealing with fire is what not to do. You know what I'm saying? That's more important than what to do, I think. Listen to this. We've been talking about AI a lot on the show, about how it is going to, disintegrate society, melt people's brains. And I went on this whole rant on the episode with Clay about a month or two ago about how people are going to be, fucking machines and having AI. They're going to be like, having relationships with AI. It's not a real person. how it's just people are gonna lose their people skills. They won't be able to talk to each other.
Say they're not gonna be smart. They're just gonna
people are gonna be dumb.
the AI do all their homework, and they're not gonna know anything.
Yes, but also you're not gonna want to communicate with each other because people are gonna be communicating with AI, thinking that they're real people, or not even caring that they're real people. They just want some type of relationship, so they don't go out and improve their people skills. They don't go out and try new things and meet people. Well, it looks like the disintegration of society is coming quicker than ever, because a couple of days ago an article floated past my pretty little eyes, and it was about this woman named Karen Marjorie, who has created apparently the first AI girlfriend. She is an influencer on Snapchat, which I know nothing about. I think maybe Clay's the only person that uses Snapchat, so I had no clue who this woman was. So Karen Marjorie, you spent hours upon hours training an AI to like know her voice, whatever. I guess they have to train the voice, whatever. So they train the AI to be exactly like her, and now she's charging $1 a minute for people to use that service and have her as an AI girlfriend. Absolutely insane. What?
I don't actually think this is the first time. Like maybe the AI wasn't as advanced as now, but I've definitely heard of stuff like this. A lot of this kind of stuff happens in Japan, honestly.
I think you're right, because I remember I watched like a documentary about how they have a big problem with people being inside with a lot of men. They just want to be inside all day, and they're like, just
this guy actually. There was this like thing. It was kind of like AI. Like it wasn't as advanced. Like it was kind of like more scripted. But it was like a thing on the DS, and this guy like married his DS because he liked the AI chick in his game.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But now this is the thing, because with AI becoming so advanced, they're training it to respond better. Roddy, shout out to Roddy, big supporter of the show and host of his own podcast, messes with the AI a lot, and he'll have conversations with it and send it to me. It's very funny stuff. He'll talk shit to the AI. But now it's become so advanced that I'm sure the experience of having an AI girlfriend is better than ever for those people. So now it's probably like even worse right now. Insane. $1 a minute. First of all, let me say this. Shout out to Karen Marjorie, though, for getting the bag, for doing what you got to do. I mean, you're contributing to the disintegration of society in the minds of people. But listen, somebody's going to do it, Karen. You might as well do it. I'm not going to hate on you for what you're doing. Get the bag. Because if it was me, if I was some Instagram baddie, and they were like, yo, I got this idea for you to make some straight cash, I'd be like, shit, train it up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs a retirement. You know what I mean? Being an Instagrammer doesn't have a 401k. So do your thing. Shout out to you. But to all the fellas that are doing this, you're wildin'.
Bro,
you're crazy.
So much money, bro.
You're bugging. I don't think I'll ever have a kid. And if I do have a kid, I don't think I'll ever beat them. But if I do have a kid and I find out
and you do decide to beat them, it's because
you're talking to Karen Marjorie or anybody on AI. What the hell are you doing? You got to go outside. You got to look at somebody in the face and say, hey, nice to meet you. Shake their hand. Don't be on the AI. You're going to rot your fucking brain.
I don't want to be that guy, but go out and touch some grass.
Touch some grass, touch some ass, bro. Consensually touch some ass. Don't be on the train or anything. Touch a consensual ass. Go touch some ass. You know what I mean, for girls and guys. You know what I mean. Whatever you got to do. It's getting crazy out there.
Yes, involved.
Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the AI girlfriend, right? And then I saw they have these technology where they make artificial lips. And they have, obviously, artificial vaginas and artificial penises. Because I'm not just going to talk to the boys. Because obviously there could be women that are doing this too. Or gay people that want to stick artificial penises up their rectum while talking to an AI person. It's not exclusive to any person.
It's getting crazy now. It's getting crazy.
It's not exclusive to anybody. I'm just saying that this is what's going to happen. It's going to be machinery mixed with AI. And you're going to be like this. You're going to be a shell of a human being. And then the mailman's going to come and he's going to freak you out because you don't know how to interact with human beings. It's crazy. It's going to take our jobs, and I thought that I was tripping out on the last episode that I talked about this, but I know I'm not. This is outrageous. This is unconstitutional. That's
at that point, we're not going to have mailmen. It's going to be a robot delivering the mail.
This is unconstitutional, Eddie. It needs to be written in the Constitution. That's what the forefathers should have foresaw this. No AI girlfriends.
They don't care about that. They'll just rewrite shit. They love that. They're rewriting shit all the time.
They need to update the Constitution right now. Say no AI girlfriend, no AI girlfriends at all. Insane. Do you have any thoughts on this? I've been.
I don't like robots.
No.
Fuck AI. It's gonna kill us all.
The only one I do like is the AI narrators that they have, because as me and you know, we found a book. We will discuss this on another show. We found a book that we wanted to listen to that did not have audio, and somebody put it on the AI narration. And you also heard us do the AI narration on the Valentine's Day show. So I do think that listen, there's definitely purposes and uses for AI. I don't think I'm demonizing it all, but you need to know where to stop, and this is the point where you stop.
Listen, I think it's fine. You know, you can use it to make shit easier. You could use it to do you don't use it to do your homework, bro, because you're not gonna learn anything.
Right.
You're gonna be dumb as bricks.
Well, watch this.
Today, we are announcing 3 new policing technologies in New York City: the K5 autonomous security robot, the Spot Digidog robot, and the Star Chase GPS attachment system. Our job is to fight crime and keep people safe. And these tools are significant steps forward in that vital mission.
We are here to get stuff done. #GSP.
What are we paying them for then? If they're just gonna send robots out,
bro. Lick my ass, bro. You crazy? You see these butt plugs? They look like freaking butt plugs. Besides the damn Spot, besides the freaking robot dog. This is insane, bro. There's no way. People got to bomb these. They got to do so, but then that'll be a terroristic act, and then you go to prison. So don't do that. Don't do that. But
why are we gonna pay for policemen then? Like, you know, if they're just gonna send robots out to do their jobs.
I mean, listen, this is where it starts. Yeah,
we might as well cut them out.
They're just gonna be there patrolling the streets, and this is insanity. This is something out of a sci-fi horror novel. I don't even understand why anybody would want this. This is sad. This is sad, and this is scarier than the AI girlfriend. I'd rather the AI girlfriends be around than this, for sure. You gotta need robots patrolling the streets.
This is intrusive, bro. Like you don't the AI girlfriend shit is only there if you're looking for it. But this is gonna be right outside. You walking down the block and you're getting attacked by a robot dog.
You don't know what the hell it's gonna do. It's not a human being. It doesn't have any, it doesn't have any skills.
You can't reason with it. You can't be like, this is not what it looks like.
Doesn't have any compassion. Doesn't have any heart. This is what we're gonna have. We're gonna have cold-blooded steel robots patrolling the streets, doing God knows what, chasing people down.
And you know that dog got some crazy metal teeth, bro.
If it doesn't now, it's gonna.
You think a regular cop dog shreds people up? Wait for the robot dog.
Spot, bro. Hope Spot gets hit by a fucking car. Get out of here. No way.
It'll get back up after getting hit by a car.
I can't even believe this was approved for the street. I could see in war. I could see if we go to war and they're like, yo, we're going to get some sick combat
is that
robots.
Where all our money's going? To fucking robots?
I guess so.
They're talking about like, oh, it's going to be another recession, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because you're wasting all the money on robots and bullshit.
I know. And if what Clay said is true, apparently the NYPD, I guess the New York didn't want to do it. They denied it, but then the NYPD was like, fuck, we're gonna go around it somehow and use the terroristic budget for it. So I don't know. This is not what the money should be spent on. You have a great point. Absolutely not.
And again, we don't gotta if we're paying for cops and they're just gonna send robots out. Let's cut the middleman out. Let's get rid of the cops and just put the robots out there.
I say throw all the robots in the New York Sound. Throw them there, fry them, throw them in bodies of water, fry them, dismantle them, and they're done. This is no. Speaking of bodies of water, listen to this. This article came across my pretty little eyes the other day too. Actually, last night. So in India,
beautiful.
Thank you. There was
they just don't know. You got to show them. Give them a flash.
You got big, beautiful brown eyes. There was an government official in India, right? So this guy drops his phone in this like river or this ravine or some shit like that. He drops his phone. So he goes back and drains 2 million liters of water to get his phone back. Can you believe that? Like, my man got suspended, number one. He should have got fired immediately right there. How you gonna this? It's not even a question. You should be fired for that. Then he was like, "Oh, well, I took it from a part of the body of water where it wasn't being used anyway." It's like, bro, like I'm gonna believe that. Get the hell out of here. And apparently they're like this is like the hottest time in India, so it's like they're gonna need that water. Like, are you crazy for a phone? And you think that's bad? This is the crazy part. I'd be willing to forgive this man if he didn't do this for a Samsung, for an Android. This is the most disgusting part. My man literally drained 2 million of water, wasted water that could be used to get a Samsung back. If this was an iPhone, I'd say, listen, slap on the wrist. I understand. But for a fucking Samsung. Listen, in all honesty, if you told me, government official, they're doing work in the rainforest, right? And they drop their iPhone in the rainforest. And they torch like half the rainforest for the iPhone. I'm saying, you know what? I could see. I mean, that's not the best.
You're tripping.
But it's an iPhone. But for a Samsung, absolutely not. Which EJ is a Samsung user.
Android.
Isn't that Samsung?
I don't know.
That's Samsung. There's only Apple and Samsung. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. And this is something a Samsung user would do. This is something an Android user would do, because an iPhone person would have the sense.
That's not true, because I would have just left it there.
That's because you're lazy. That's because you're lazy, though. That's because you're lazy. This is a government.
But they're cheap. Like, this guy, phone, bro.
This guy has the resources. He's a government official to get this truck and drain it. That's why he was able to do it, because he has the power to do so.
This man should not be a government official. My man is wasting his. No, bro. He's just flaunting his power. He's like, you see this lake? I'm gonna drain this whole half of this bitch just to get my phone back. Watch. Let me make a call. Wait, I don't got a phone.
An abuse of power. Yeah, like, I mean, obviously go get a new phone, but this is such an Android user thing to do. Obviously, a move like that, I wouldn't even believe this would be of an iPhone user. Even though I could understand an iPhone user wanted to get their precious, beautiful phone back, I cannot see our people, doing something this petty and this ridiculous. And I also saw Mo the Crow sent me something on TikTok where DoorDash is apparently getting sued because they're charging iPhone users more for using their service. I don't know why, but that is discrimination. That is disgusting, and we need to see DoorDash burn.
I mean, how would they know if you're using an iPhone anyway?
I don't know. They know. I guess, I don't know. I don't know how the back end of this stuff. That's what he said. He said that they had, I guess somebody maybe has an Android and an iPhone in the same house. Maybe their wife or the husband got an Android, the brother, the sister, somebody.
Yeah, but how do they how does Door does it say like you got to drop off to this guy and he's using an Android?
I'm sure it's extremely easy for DoorDash to know who is using their services, what phone, because I mean each one is downloaded from a different Play Store, huh?
Oh well, yeah, I guess
each one is downloaded from a different store. They got their own specs, like they know. So this is disgusting, discrimination, and you know what? I'm tired of it, because you Android users are something else. See this shit y'all be pulling? This is your people. The people represent you. Draining the fucking lakes. Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous.
And you said they just got like a slap on the wrist. Like they're not fired.
Well, they're suspended for now. I said if they're an iPhone user, they should probably get a slap on the wrist.
And where was this?
India.
And this is like someone in the Indian government?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
It is crazy.
And they have a drought, you said.
No, it's not a drought. I just think it's the hottest part of India, hottest time of
The
the
hottest
year.
part of the season or
Yeah.
the year or whatever.
So, the kids need to go in there, jump around. People need to get wet. People need to use the water.
There ain't no water, bro. He wasted
People need to
it all.
splash themselves. People need to wash their clothes or something. I don't know. 2 million liters, bro? That's insane. That's insane. We talked about the Conjuring House on the 6-hour spectacular. I saw that they are now letting you stay at the Conjuring House on I don't know if it's Airbnb or something like that, but they're allowing people to stay at the Conjuring House. Isn't that nice? Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? Would you stay there?
It depends how much.
Well, here's the actual caveat. Here's the twist of it. You're not actually staying in the house. They have you staying on the premises. It's called gamping.
What am I sleeping in a tent in the yard?
Literally, exactly that.
I'm not doing it.
Literally, it's called gamping, like ghost camping. And from $300 to $400, depending on what tent you want, you could stay on the land, not really at the crib. I'm like,
no. If I'm paying $400, I want to stay in the house in a bed for a night.
That's what I'm saying.
At least
a
night.
They're like, oh, there's been paranormal activity outside. There's been Bigfoot sightings. I'm like, bruh, get the fuck out of here. Are you crazy?
Making shit up.
Making shit up is right. Bigfoot. Bro, I did all the research on that house. I ain't heard nothing about no Bigfoot, bro. All I heard was about crazy fans coming through to try and get sightings of the house. I ain't heard about no damn Bigfoot. That might have been a crazed fan in a ghillie suit. Y'all thinking it's Bigfoot, you morons. So they got some nerve. I mean, listen. If you want to do this, I guess, right? Like if you like to camp or something, then I guess you could be like, okay, it'd be fun.
I don't even think people that like camping would do this because they would just go and do real camping.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I can kind of see it, but then I'd be like, why don't you just go stay at a place that's like notoriously haunted on the outside or something? This would be like if my dad took me to Eastern State Penitentiary, which he did, but they were like, oh, but you only get a tour of the prison yard. And it's like, well, I want to go in the cell. Like, I want to see like all the inside where stuff really is going down. Even though my dad did have a paranormal experience on the prison yard, very interesting. But still, the Conjuring House is about the house itself, not the land. Never did I say in my report.
No one's talking about the fucking headless horseman's riding across the front lawn again. There he goes.
Thank you. They weren't like, oh, this is a hotspot for alien abductions or activities. Like there's a story I have to see where it is exactly. I'll have to look it up and tell you the exact story I'm discussing. But I saw a podcast where there's a famous story of this family. They were in this cabin and they encountered like these beings, like these monstrous beings, and they had to shoot them up. And they were coming. They were all over the premises, like on the roof, in the front of the house, all over in the forest, right? Now there, I can see you saying, on this land, it's known for this big event going down. There's possibility that these ghouls could come out. Yeah, stay on the premises there.
No. That's when you're like, no. I definitely don't want to stay in the tent, bro. Let me in the house.
No, well, I'm saying if you're one of those people that want the danger, you stay on. I could see you staying on the premises there. Yeah. This seems like a little bit of a money grab, don't you think?
It seems desperate, and if people do this, I just think it's foolish.
I think it's foolish too. I'm in total agreement with you. It's not like this is the Blair Witch Forest or something like that.
I'll break into the house.
Then they're like, oh, we'll give you a tour of the house. They're like, no, I want to tour the house for 24 hours myself. I want to take a personal tour.
Sandwich. I want to go in the fridge, make a sandwich, sit on the couch. Yeah,
I want to see the basement. I want to sleep in the basement. I'd pay the $300-$400 for that. Maybe even more. I pay like, how much do you think you'd pay to stay at the Conjuring House? I'd say a smooth $5. If I could bring more people, not per person.
How long? How long would $5 would get you a day or how
$5
many
a night?
days
$5 for 24 hours. 24 hours, $500.
For the inside,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
there better be some food in there too.
I don't know
I
about
need
that.
food. I'm hungry.
I
If
think
they be like,
$500 is reasonable to stay at the Conjuring House for a night. Maybe I'm tripping, but I mean, I think that's
I'll say four.
yeah. I think it's reasonable because when I looked up the Lizzie Borden house, I think it was about 3 to 4. So the Conjuring House is more notorious for its hauntings. I'd say it's a 5. I'd give you a 5er. But on the
You're a
land
very
though,
generous man.
on the this ain't like you staying at on the land of the Skinwalker Ranch. That there you could put a trailer and make some money. Not on the Conjuring land, bro.
Getting 1,000 a night.
Nah, you wilding out. You
don't think so?
No, there, yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. Not this foolishness. And you can tell it's a money grab because they got like 40 tents. They're like, oh, you could stay. Let me count how many tents they got. Let me count. It was a grit. And then it's gonna be like Woodstock. I got fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry down the street over there by the tree.
Like, hey, dude, did you see that shadow over there?
Yeah, Bigfoot was here last night, man.
We were all around the campfire, dude. There was something in the woods. It's crazy, man.
All right. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tents, right? Each one is gonna sleep 3 to 4 people. So what's?
Oh Lord.
That's like 7 times. What is that? 7 times 3? Is that how you do the math?
21.
So now I got to deal with 19 other people walking around, impeding on my investigations.
Farting.
Then I'm like,
talking. Like, shut up, bro. I'm sleeping.
It's like, okay, we're gonna explore the Conjuring property, right? And you go down, and then you hear like a twig snap. You hear like a laugh. You're like, oh my god, I think it's the broke neck woman. It's just some guy. Oh, my bad, dude. You doing a video over here? My bad. Sorry, bruh. Like,
sorry, dude. I was taking a piss.
No, not doing that. Not doing that. Let's get to something that me and EJ have been talking about for days. And I haven't been telling him exactly what. I've just been alluding to something.
Talking about it for
I've just
days.
been alluding to something. Speaking of doing a nice sleepover, this is the craziest sleepover I ever heard of. So I have been absolutely, positively obsessed with this new internet thing going on. There has been an internet reality show going on for the last 6 months called Fishtank. Fishtank is run on its own website, and it's a 24-hour live stream for 6 weeks. I don't know if I just said 6 months. For 6 weeks, they have a bunch of people in a house, Big Brother style, like real world style, with security cameras in pretty much every room. And it's going 24 hours. So you're watching these people sleep, you're watching these people interact, and they got to do challenges along the way in the 6 weeks, and eventually each one of them gets eliminated until there's one person standing, and that person gets $35,000. The show ended today, and I ended up only knowing about this for I probably knew of it for like 3 weeks, but the last week is when I finally tuned in. And this thing is or was insane. Like, I'm going to show you the clip that got me to watch because I saw like a little like, oh, this thing happened on Fishtank and this thing happened on Fishtank. But then there's this content creator named Airsoft Fatty. You familiar with him, EJ?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not.
So he's in the world of creators I think you would know about. So you got to check him out. So he was brought on this show as a freeloader. So they have this thing where they have, I think it was like, let's say 18 or 20 contestants, but then they just bring random people in to just sit around and hang out, do the challenge, and they can also make some money. This is also very interactive. Like you have a chat going on 24 hours, and they could do anything they like. I think they could even control the temperature of the house. I remember hearing that. But you can chat. They have like speakers going on in every room, and you can say whatever you want. You can donate to the stream and get people to. You can either do like a punishment or you can do a reward. So if I like somebody, I can give them a loot crate. Or there'll be times where they'll be sleeping in the middle of the night, and then just loud like Mexican music will just it will just start going off and wake everybody up. They got like a guy just speaking in Chinese mad loud, pissing everybody off, and like for like 15 minutes straight. Oh, there's one where it's just like a sound of chaos, like gunshots and people screaming, and they'll just play it in the middle of the night when people are sleeping like that. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do as a chat or a viewer. You can donate money to have stuff done. So with that being
sounds
said,
really interesting.
Oh, bro, it's I'm not even. You just wait.
But did you participate?
I did not. I did not donate any money. I did not donate any money. I just watched. So this is the clip that I saw after seeing a few other ones that I was like, I gotta tune in and see what the hell's going on, because I didn't know it was this crazy. Then I'll get into some of the stories that happened during the show, who won. We'll break the show down to the best of my ability. So here we go.
Letty hates hearing that Simmons' book, Please Gather the Fish and John, for reading.
That's what you were going to do to my stuff, wasn't it?
I was going to take you in your fucking sleep. Thanks a lot, I got no clean clothes now.
Now you know how I feel. Nice job cleaning.
You actually got fucking sweats in, you dumb cunt!
Nice
You
job.
stupid slut! You
Nice-
fucking whore!
Nice job playing with my pads. Is that allowed?
You think it was fucking
That's what you were going to do to me. Now don't get mad to have it done to you.
You haven't changed your clothes, you dumb whore! You haven't fucking changed your fucking clothes! You have a full-on change your clothes! I know!
Tell me to spit on me.
I'll spit in the fucking line! You one dumb whore, you know that? And if it ain't so fuck yourself! Fuck you don't use the bathroom! All you have to kill yourselves! Especially you, cunt! I'm a fucking
All right, so that was the guy Chris, Airsoft Fatty, and this contestant Letty. Now, I tuned in at like that night. Once I saw that, because people were clipping stuff as it happened, like 2 seconds later, a clip will be on YouTube, and I was like, nah, I gotta see what's going on Fishtank, because that was crazy. I'm like, did he get kicked out for that? Like, my man spit in her face, like, yo. I was like, whoa. Like, he's lucky he didn't get his ass beat for that. Honestly, like, he's lucky she didn't beat his ass. I think she just didn't want to, get kicked out of the house for physical violence. But as a little prelude to what I'm going to say, bro, they were doing stuff with piss and shit the whole time. They were like pissing in closets, shitting in closets.
What are they, 5? Like,
bro, it gets crazy. So what happened
are you allowed
was,
to lock your doors? Are they just breaking in? Like, what's
they broke doors. Like it's absolute chaos. The house.
That's when you bring a gun and you're just like, you fuck with me, bro? Like, don't even come in my room.
Bro, I've never seen a dirtier house. Like that, imagine the dirtiest house ever and then just like times it by 2, because they would clean the house and then they would be like, okay, now we're going to do a challenge where you got to just like get drunk and act crazy, and who can ever like act the craziest while being drunk, or who can ever be the biggest menace will win. So then the house would just get destroyed again. Like people's beds would get pissed on. People would be like, throwing shit all over the kitchen. I mean, having like flower fights. This house was the dirtiest.
That's small scale stuff. I would be smashing holes through walls.
Oh no, that happened. Yeah, walls were destroyed, doors were destroyed, things were destroyed. So let me break down what happened before that clip, and then we'll talk about some other incidents that happened on the show. So what happened was, when I tuned in, that's like where, as far as my knowledge went. So I went back a little bit. I tried to go back a little bit and to see why that happened. So apparently, Chris, they were playing games, whatever. Chris was one of the freeloaders, and he was there for like maybe a week or something, or a couple weeks, like 2 weeks or something. So he had a crush on Letty, the girl he was screaming at. So they were the producers were kind of like telling him, yo, you got a Mac on, like you got to get her to, I think she likes you. You got to get her to, go out with you, whatever. So he tried to Mac on her, and she was not having it. She let him down gently twice. So after that, she let him down, and they were doing some kind of challenge, and he ended up spitting milk on her. I think twice. The one I saw for sure was he spit milk all over her arm and her hand. Like, he walked over there, and we just went, blah, 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 like crazy, right? So then, once he did that, it was probably later that night, he came in his room and saw that all his clothes were wet, and he thought they were all peed on because they were already doing piss stuff, but way before that. Like, Letty already pissed in a closet. Letty had already took one of the girl's plushies and dumped it in the toilet that somebody shit in. Okay, so they were doing stuff like that already. So he thought that Letty pissed on his clothes. She had actually just dumped it in clean toilet water. So he was tight. My man was sick because he didn't have more clothes. He had to wash his clothes. I think his bag had already got stolen like the time before that. So he was going around screaming. Shit? Yeah, they already stole his bag, or his bag went missing with his medication in it, and he was going crazy about it like the day of or the day before that. So he was trying to get her back, and he had a cup full of what they say was soup. It might have been piss. I don't know what it was. And she had found that cup in his room, and that's what she threw on him. And that's where the clip picked up, where she threw the stuff on him, and he got tight. And I'm like, everybody else is like, bro, you started this. You started this with the milk. So now that the tables turn on you, he got tight. And that's when he ends up spitting on her, which I was like, bro, that is a no-no. You cannot be doing that. My man spit in her face. Like, it was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So that's why he popped off like that, because of his clothes apparently got peed on, which she said that they were not peed on.
I don't think I would last. I think I might hurt somebody in that house.
That's what I said, bro. Like, I was thinking about the whole time, like, would I be able to be on the show? And I'm like, no. And then just the other stuff that they had him do was insane. I don't think I can handle it. So after that, I tuned in. And I think it was that night. Everybody was cool. Everybody was calm. Chris and Letty were on good terms already at that point. Or there was some all-out, knockout, drag-out arguments after that. This dude John got in the middle of it, and so there was some big arguments after that. But then they made them do this challenge where they all had to find the grossest thing in the house and show it to the camera. Bro, this got crazy. So one of the things they got was the sheets that were in the garage. Vance ended up getting these sheets that God knows what happened to these sheets. They were, peed on. There was food all over them. It was the most disgusting. They were like disintegrating. It was the most disgusting sheets you could ever even imagine. Then one of them, I think it was Letty, brought Chris's shorts that he pissed in. He pissed in his bed. So she brought his shorts.
He peed himself.
Yeah, she brought his shorts that had piss all over them, bro. Then
that's not good.
Then I think it was her that she brought the plushie that Letty ended up dumping. So Letty brought the plushie that she dumped in the toilet that had shit on it. When she dumped this girl's plushie that had shit on it, they threw it in the garage or something like that. So she ended up getting it back, and she brought that plus the pants, I think. Then
bro, I would just show the camera that garage. It sounds like they keep all that nasty, disgusting
You could see it. You
shit
could
in
see
there.
it. You could see it all on the camera. You could see it all 24-hour on the feed. So then Josie ended up bringing Chris's bed, which had piss on it, food on it, all types of nasty stuff. Chris went to the bathroom and shit in a cup. Okay? Showed it to the camera. And Jason Goldstriker, the host, was like, the rule is you have to put it in your hand with no gloves. That was the rule of the game, the challenge, okay? So they're all bringing this stuff to the camera with no gloves. So Chris is like, all right. So he grabs toilet paper and dumps it in the cup and shows his shit. And for some reason, I tuned out for like a second, turn around, I come back, and the shit is in his hand. He's holding the shit in his hand. Showing it to the camera.
Sick. Bro, what do you want? This is sick, bro.
I told you this was captivating. Absolutely captivating stuff. Before this, they had this guy named Dontarius or something like that, who was like this. He was like a guy on Instagram from the Bronx. He's a dude that he would just like make funny videos on the train. They brought him into the house. My man ends up clearly beating off in the house, in the bathroom, which they don't have cameras at, but you can hear it. And then he goes in his room and starts beating off with the camera on. Then my man deadass gets kicked out of the house for smoking crack on the camera. Like, I told you this was insane. Insane. My man smoking crack.
My man beat off and he was like, I need to pick me up.
Yeah, they were like, bro, they could tell he was, because you can hear it through the door. So he gets kicked out for that. There were all kind of fights going on, people spitting on each other's stuff, stealing each other's stuff, throwing stuff at each other. Chris ended up throwing mustard at this dude, and then the dude throws. Go ahead.
How much is this for? 3,500 or 35,000?
I think he said 35. Was that what I say? 3,500?
All right, so yeah, so 3,500 is 3,500. That ain't worth the money, bro.
I think it's 35,000. 35,000. 35,000. My bad. 35,000. That's a good amount.
Well,
that's a good amount. Yeah, that's a good amount.
That's a lot of money, but I still don't know if I could. I might hurt somebody bad.
You know, I don't think it was the intention for this to go this way, but it probably was, because one of the challenges was literally, I think they fed them all and they were like, all right, the first one to throw up on the floor gets like a point or something like that. So they had to make themselves throw up on the floor. They did all kind of crazy challenges. There was another beef that went on. That this was maybe the next day after the piss thing that happened, after the not the piss thing, the cup clip I showed you. It was Letty was like the villain of the show, who she would get into fights with Sylvia. She was spitting on Sylvia's stuff and stealing her stuff, and I don't remember exactly how she became the villain of the show, but Letty was my favorite. She was the one popping off, pissing in the closet, stealing people's shit. Letty was my favorite. Okay, we're gonna talk about who won in a minute because it just happened today. So Letty ends up. It was John. So John's Bible ends up in the what do you call it, the washer machine, and one of the producers tells her,
they're disrespectful,
bro. The producer's like, yo, John's Bible's in the washer machine. Like, whatever you want to do with that info, go ahead. So she turns the washer machine on. Bro, this Bible was straight up just like crud.
Gone.
Like, it was done. It was absolutely done. So my man gets tight and ends up almost ripping up her passport. They had to stop him because that would have caused a whole problem with production, because then production would have to get her new passport, all this stuff. So they had to physically stop him from ripping up this chick's passport after she put his Bible in the washer machine. This thing was crumbled to bits, okay? And then that ended up causing the washer machine to break. So this broke a $800 washer machine. I mean, this thing was a total mess, bro. There's so many things
I'm not even to demolish this house. Like, since it's all done, just erase this house.
The house was disgusting, dude. Literally at the end, which I'll get to, like the last challenge, I go do something the other night. I think it was last night. I go do something for like 15 minutes. I come back. The door is on the hinges in half. I'm like, how did this happen in like 20 minutes? It's literally in half from top to bottom. The top part
You
is gone.
You can't walk to the store to get your snacks, bro.
Oh,
You're
you can't
missing
leave.
stuff.
You can't leave the house, and you can't smoke weed. Is the 2 rules of the house.
Well, no, I mean you. Like you walked away to get snacks, and you missed
No.
something crazy.
No, and like I was telling you earlier, this show was perfect for me because
No weed. They let this man. Well, I guess they didn't let him smoke crack, but he had crack, bro. Like,
well,
let me
he
smoke
wasn't
a
supposed
joint.
to. He wasn't supposed to. The best
Am
part
I-
of the
what
show,
about cigarettes? Are cigarettes
that-
allowed?
yeah, they could smoke cigarettes, vape, stuff like that. Yeah, they have vapes and cigarettes.
I would have just been burning people's shit with myself. I just put my cigarettes out on your shit.
The only fire I
got a
think
plushie?
was. I know there was some more that happened with the plushies that I didn't see yet, and I think the only fire was when somebody was cooking, like they accidentally set up the smoke alarm. So I think the only thing that happened was there wasn't a legitimate fire that I could remember. They were doing seances in the garage.
I'll start burning people's sheets and shit while they're sleeping.
Dude, they did. I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that, and I just didn't know because, like I said, I tuned in the last week.
They had to cut that out. They're like, that's a little too crazy now, bro.
No, everything was streamed 24. If you were a $40 member, you can go in and watch something immediately after. You go back in the archive. They didn't edit nothing. It was all on stream. They didn't edit shit. And the best part for me was by the end of the week, by the end of the show, at least when I tuned in, everybody was on my schedule. So they were waking up like at 1 PM and going to bed at 6. So I'd wake up and they would just be waking up and the mayhem would start and then they'd be going to bed. So I wouldn't really miss much unless I averted my eyes or something. It's insane.
So was it multiple screen, like multiple like viewpoints on the screen, like on some Brady Bunch shit? There's just like
Yep.
six screens or something.
Yep, exactly. Like Five Nights at Freddy, they had all the screens. If you had the desktop version, if you're on the website on the desktop, they had all the screens on the side that you can click on, and then you could just click on which screen you want at that time.
Oh, okay.
And if you were on the phone, as soon as you opened it, you see all the screens on in one shot, and you click on the screen you want, it expands it.
Gotcha.
So when there was a fight going on, like after I think Chris's bag went missing, or it was after Letty threw the piss on or the cup on him or something, he was screaming about it in the living room. He walks over to the downstairs hallway and starts to walk up the stairs and falls and eats it on the staircase. So you got to switch over real quick to see that. So
oh man.
by the end, it came down to Letty and Josie. Now they couldn't have scripted it if it ended up being perfect because Letty was like the villain and everybody ended up loving Josie by the end of it. So it was like the devil and the angel of the show were competing at the end. And what they had to do was it was a 48-hour or maybe even 72-hour challenge at the end. So the 2 girls had to stay in room 2 and it was called the Cell Challenge. And at that point it was like for the next whatever days, 48, 72 hours, they had to do like 100 challenges. Like it was so like they were just making challenges up. They would ask Chad to do challenge. Yeah, bro, it was crazy. They'd be like, okay, now we're gonna do best Jamaican accent challenge. Now we're gonna do arm wrestling. Now we're gonna do. There was some crazy ones too. They did God, I'm trying to remember the ones that were like really out of pocket, really insane. I know the last one was mud wrestling, and what it was is just like a deflated pool that they just made mud with in like that 2-second period. They just made mud and they just flopped it on the floor and then they just wrestled in it, whatever. I'm trying to think of some other crazy challenges they had to do. They had to do debates. It was a bunch of insanity that was packed into 72. And so by the end of it, they had to do. It came down to like a 40, I think it was like 51 to 50 or 52 to 50 score. So they probably ended up doing like 100, almost 100 challenges because one won the other one, blah, blah, blah. There was a tie on one. They had to do like workout challenges. It was insane. Hours upon hours upon hours of shit like that. Oh, one of them was they had to lick the grossest thing in the room. And they had a random goat in there one time. Like that was the best part of the show. Also, is that like just random stuff would happen. Like for no reason, they just brought a goat in and they just let the goat chill there for like 2 days. Then they had these with the freeloaders, they had like doppelgangers. So they would find people on Twitter that looked like contestants. They'd be like, you want to come on the show? And they would just have random people that looked exactly or very close to people, just show up and hang out and just start wars and just break stuff. So, yeah, one of them was lick the grossest thing in the room. So one of them licked Chris's skin tag under his arm. They were licking his shoe, licking the fucking floor, or they licked a sponge that they cleaned the floor with. Oh, my God. It was madness. This was the greatest thing that ever be pulled off on the internet. I mean, like, there's nothing greater. There's nothing you could do to top this. The insanity level. And I can't even condense this properly because I've only been watching for a week.
Way late.
I've only been watching for a week, and the clips I've seen that were passed were insane. But I'm sure I'm missing out on tons of stuff. It was so magical. There's no better reality show. No better reality show. So Josie ended up winning, which I didn't want Josie to win. I wanted Letty to win because she was the funnier one. She was the one starting the most shit. She was cooler, but at the end of the day, Josie was cool too. I liked them both. I liked both of the participants that ended up at the end. So I really didn't care too much. But shout out to Letty. She won $35,000, and they ended up giving Josie $20,000 just because she was such a good contestant. Wow.
Don't you mean it's the other way around? Because your girl's doing that loss?
No, Letty won. No, Letty lost, so she got $20,000 for being a good contestant, and Josie got $35,000 for winning. Yeah. I got my shit confused. So
this sounds like madness. I don't even know how you even go about finding the people that are willing to do this. Like,
they all sent in applications, which made me think, which one of us is going to send in the application for season 2? Because season 2 is coming. They're going to do season 2, which got me to think either season 2.
I don't think any of us could deal with this, bro. I really think we would hurt people. Like,
I was thinking that. Like, somebody throws pee
I think I think the Crow would go to jail for killing somebody. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I might end up hurting somebody.
Yeah, I thought about that, and it's one of us got to sign in. One of us got to sign up, though. One of us got to bite the bullet.
We got to know. We don't have to. Can we, like, forge someone's signature? Can we, like, make someone else do it?
Well, no, because you have to go through a whole process, and they interview you. So we got to have to do something, and one of us got to apply because there's no real. This is not like a contest that matters for how many. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter what kind of status you have online. It was literally all these people were plucked from pretty much obscurity, besides Chris and maybe one other, and they just got to compete for this money. See, I think the hardest part for me would be the mess because I cannot deal with a mess, and it was the worst mess I ever seen.
Ain't nobody gonna be pissing and shitting on my stuff and think I'm not gonna lay somebody out.
Like, I could deal probably.
Nah, bro. Nah, you're bugging, bro. They're talking about like someone else is pissing on your sheets where you gotta sleep, bro. Like, nah, bro. I might. I don't know. I'm gonna hurt somebody.
You see,
it'd be one thing if I peed my bed, but if you peed on my bed, bro, it's just a fight, bro. It's a fight.
As long as I don't get peed on, I don't care about that.
No. I don't care, bro. You're not gonna pee on my stuff. You're not. I don't care. Like, I don't carry a Bible, bro. But like, if I did, bro, you're not gonna throw my shit in the wash, bro.
She justified it as saying it was a Bible he got at the airport like 2 days before, or like that month. So
how did she know?
He said it, obviously. Oh. So I don't like. It's just the mess, and also some of the challenges I would not do. Like lick the grossest thing in there. I'm not doing that. That's the other thing. I can't do that. I think all of us aren't gonna do something like that. We would lose because we're not gonna do that. You know,
I think the craziest thing I would do is eat like a chip off the floor or something.
But
not off the floor in that house. I'll tell you that right now. God knows what was on that floor,
dude. The dirtiest, nastiest house I've ever seen. I mean,
you said it was mud. It was probably just goat shit. They just had that goat shitting in that.
Oh, there was goat shit for sure.
Blow up pool the whole time.
Yeah, there was goat shit, dude. There would be times where they would be doing a challenge. They were doing a debate challenge. And they walked in with bags of garbage and just dumped it everywhere, just for no reason, just to do it,
They had to stay in that room, right?
Yeah.
So were they allowed to sleep at any point, or they
Yeah,
were?
no, they
were
could
just up
sleep. They could
for
sleep.
2 or 3 days.
They could sleep. No, they could sleep. There was designated times to sleep and eat and stuff like
Okay.
that. They didn't torture them in that respect. I mean, there was also everybody's wondering where the lawsuit's going to come from. Like, there's going to be 1 or 2 lawsuits, and we all want to know who's going to be the one to file the suit.
When someone goes home and Rob finds out that they got some kind of crazy disease.
I think Chris had ringworm too during the show.
Well, if that's all he got, that's pretty good for that disgusting house.
But I think he went in with it though. So Chris has ringworm and all this stuff, right? And then they lay him across. Chris is, by the way, for those that didn't see the clip, Chris is like 400 pounds. Okay, they lay him across the kitchen island, like that little island in the middle, and they do a body examination, like looking at his ringworm, looking under the folds of his fat and stuff like that. Just for fun. Looking at his feet, you know. Wow. It was a masterpiece of a production. And we were saying, I wonder if this broke the record for the longest live stream in the world, right? Because this has been six weeks, which is how many days? 42 days. So we looked that up, and it was not. The longest, according to Google, the longest live stream in the world is a Guinness World Records certified event hosted by Twitch. A live stream performed. The event was streamed for 123 days and 19 hours on January 26, 2020. There you go. That was the longest. So they got a lot of bro. If they went for 129 days, bro, forget it. Everybody be dead. Because them 42 days probably felt like a lifetime.
I don't think they have the money to like keep that house going for that long.
They have to own that house because
all the repairs they got to do. Like,
at first I thought they rented it, but they can't.
There's no way, bro. There's no way. How you gonna hand the house back to the person you're renting it from in that condition? The door, there's half a door. There's shit on the walls. I mean,
it was. So now, do you believe me when I say I've been watching something absolutely insane and captivating?
It's definitely crazy, bro. And I can't even. Is there a cleanup crew? Like who are the bro? The people that they send in to clean better get 35,000, bro.
Right. That was the best thing, is that like they cleaned themselves and then they would immediately wreck the house like a second later. It was great. They would be like, okay, we had to clean up, and then just boom.
The contestants would like clean.
Yeah. One of the challenges was like, all right, everybody got to be Chris's slave, and Chris was like, all right, everybody got to clean up the kitchen, clean up upstairs. So there'll be challenges where like the objective would somehow be to clean. 2 minutes later, a wreck after that. Then the next challenge would be, all right, who could be the biggest menace? And then boom, like mustard fight would break out in the corner. Somebody's bed frame would be flying down the stairs. Like, I'm down for this chaos. I'm down to pee on somebody's bed and for somebody to pee on my shit. Not me though, but I'm not down to live in the mess. That's what I don't want. I don't want to live in the mess.
If it was like a day and you just got to go fuck up a house with these random people, you would do it, obviously.
Yeah, and maybe a 48. I might be able to sleep there for a 48.
For a night? No, because they're going to be fucking with you, bro. They're going to be peeing on your feet or something.
You got to be down. You got to be down.
They're going to be throwing shit at you in your sleep.
You got to be down. But I like to think about like being there for 42 days. I am too much of a neat freak. If I see a shoe in the kitchen, it freaks me out. I'm like, this is not supposed to be here. This is not. A shoe in the kitchen is nothing to these people. There's nothing.
Listen, bro, I'm not the cleanest, but this is just crazy.
So we're in agreement that Mo's signing up, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I didn't want to say it, but the first person I thought of, yeah.
We got to see if he's down.
No way. I was like, there's no way we're going to get Dre to do this.
No.
That's impossible.
I mean, but one of us have to sign up though, right? Like, we have to.
We don't have, I don't want to.
Do we need to do a challenge, a competition between us to see who has to sign up?
I hope.
I'm not licking nothing. No, I'm not licking nothing off nobody.
If I lose this, I hope that they just look at my application and they're like, nah, this guy's just like, I don't know, he's too bland or something, bro. I hope they don't want me. They turn me away.
Oh my god. We got to talk to the Crow.
They're gonna be like, nah, you're visually impaired. Like, we don't want to get sued if anything happens to you.
Yeah, we can't wait to see the lawsuit. So I think they're gonna release it all in like an actual reality TV show format soon, because they do have like real cameras going around, like big time cameras going around.
Oh, so they're gonna like
Yeah.
actually make episodes.
They're gonna make
They're gonna have like a
episodes.
little theme song.
Yep. So when that comes out,
Okay.
everybody, you could watch the condensed version. But I'm so grateful that I
And
found
this
out
is
about
called
this.
Fishtank.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that I found out about this in time to catch this chaos, because like we said on the 6 Hour Spectacular, this is up my alley. Something live, something with a chat, something obscure. It checks all the boxes for me. Checks all the boxes. Now, let's talk about what happened to us, or to me, more likely, because I don't think anybody else was really affected at this point. So if you are a diehard listener of the show, you know how the schedule runs for this show. You know that we go for each season, we go for about 30-something episodes. We take a break in the middle. Then we take a break at the end for a month and a half, which will then lead into our next season. That's how this was supposed to go. We were supposed to go up until the 6 Hour Spectacular. Then we were supposed to be on break right now and come back July 4th. That did not happen because your boy...
Happy Memorial Day.
Because your boy Gurfy over here stopped uploading to the channel, to the feed, and I messed up the entire schedule. So I would like to say I apologize. My bad, because I did not want to do that. That was not my intention at all. The reason we have the schedule like that is for our benefit and for yours, so that you know when to tune in and when you don't need to tune in. You know what I'm saying? So you're not up in the air. It's not like, okay, these dudes is posting sometimes and then
They're
they
playing
post
games.
they post a week here, then they get off the rails over there. We don't know what to expect. We like you not know what to expect on the show. We want you to expect the actual show coming up, though. You know what I mean? So to just sum it up, we don't really need to get into crazy detail. I did want to continue doing the show, but it felt like to me that I should stop doing the show for it really culminated in this 2-week period that led up to the final episode, whatever, that we ended up posting. So what happened was I was feeling real messed up, feeling real jacked up mentally and physically. There was a lot of stuff going on at that time that I'm grateful to say most of it is not resolved, but in a lot of a better position right now. So I'm grateful to say that. But at that time, things were getting crazy, things were out of hand. And
things are straight out of pocket.
Yeah, things were out of pocket. All right. That coupled with the already burnout I was feeling. So I was like, all right, at that point, before we stopped, I was like, we can make it to the 6 Hour Spectacular. I could do it. But I was feeling jacked up. So I had to kind of collect myself for every show. I did want to do them though, because I'm never the guy not to do a show. I'm never the one to be like, we're not going to record today. We always record. So what actually happened was there was 2 episodes it was 2 weeks where we actually recorded an episode, but they ended up not exporting out of my computer, out of my software. So the first week I did an episode with Crow, and that was the week that we went black. That was the week where we stopped. So what happened was we recorded the episode, and I was done. Like I was like, all right, we did it. I'm happy we finished it, but I was like physically fucked. But I'm like, all right, let's export it, make the thumbnail, and let's go. I made a thumbnail, whatever. I'm trying to export it, and it does not export. I'm like, why is this not exported? It never happens. It doesn't want to export. So I'm like, all right, after like an hour of trying to do it, it was done. It was like 4 a.m. And I'm like, you know what? Every season, I give myself 3 episodes, I give myself 3 outs a season. That I'm like, if I'm feeling really bad, I have 3 times the season where I don't post an episode. I've never used them though. But I have them there.
Do they carry over?
No, they do not. No, they don't.
You can just stack it up and be like, I'm just not doing anything this year, guys.
No, it doesn't work like that. You can't carry. It's not a math problem. Can't carry the 2. So I just have that contract with myself, right? But I never use it. So I'm like, all right, I guess it'll be the first time I'm going to use one. So I do it. The next week comes along, and I do a completely new episode with Pastor. That episode gets done, and it does not export as well. And I'm like, all right, this has never happened. Like, I have never had to I can never have not exported episode twice in a week, in a row. So at that point, I was so done. I was so drained. We were uploading twice a week at that point for no reason. I just felt like we should try it, and that was like adding to it, which was fun though. It was fun. And I'm like, listen, I'm a guy that likes to, see the signs going on around me, and I'm like, this doesn't look too good. Like I'm thinking, if there's any sign for me to stop doing the show right now, to take the break early, to take off the month and a half early, it will be this one, because I was still down to do them, but they weren't exporting.
Yeah,
so
you did them. You already did them.
Yes.
You couldn't.
Yes.
Damn.
So I'm like, this may be a sign from God, from the universe, from whatever you believe in, to be like, you need to chill. You need to stop. Because I'll keep going. Like, I'll be done with the episode, and I'll just be like, just like drained, just done. So that's what ended up happening. I was like, well, we'll shut everything down. And then I tried to post a video explaining it, and then that didn't work for some reason. I forgot what happened with that. So I couldn't even explain what was going on. I couldn't even explain myself. So everybody was left in the dark, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to end everything the right way, end on the 6-hour special. Well, actually, we would end on the episode after the 6-hour special, the usual aftermath episode. Then we would have took the break. So that's what happened. That is why it is officially season 5. And we're back for another 30-something episodes. I forgot what we ended up contractually obligating ourselves to. Me and Justin sat down and we did now we know when the mid-season break's going to be, and when the end of the season's going to be. I don't have the paper in front of me, so I don't even fucking remember right now. But you know that we will let you know when the time comes.
Unless we can't.
Unless that happens again, which I hope not, because that was bad. I was not feeling good. I was feeling really messed up. But
who knows? It could happen right now, and you never see this.
Oh my God, no! Because I don't feel bad. I don't feel that way at all. Like, I took that month and a half, and I just chilled out. I watched a lot of wrestling. I watched a lot of Japanese wrestling, which I like because they be smacking the shit out of each other for real. I watched a lot of wrestling. And I just, enjoyed myself for that month and a half. And I worked on the 6-hour spectacular, which I told myself I was going to do from the beginning. I said, well, one thing that's not going to happen over my dead body is a 6-hour special. Don't come out. That was not happening. I would not play you like that. I would not play myself like that, because that's the one thing that I really wanted to do anyway. I was like, if we're going to do anything, it's going to be the 6-hour spectacular. We're not shutting that down for nothing. If I got to buy a new computer, we're going to have to do it.
If I got to get a new computer, new co-host,
that's
whatever,
right.
Anything,
we got to gut this bitch. We got to figure this out. Got to take out a loan. We're getting a 6-hour spectacular done, and we did. So I'm grateful that was completed, and we came back with that. So any inconvenience, my bad. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to let that happen. But shit happens. It felt like it was beyond my control at one point. So I was like, listen, I'm just gonna relent. I'm just gonna relent to the powers that be. And I felt pretty good during the break, and I came back wound up.
Gassed up. We were all
ready to go. So we're season 5, bitch. And now, to reflect a little bit on the prior season, I really don't remember a lot of it. But I do know that I'm very proud of what I do remember because we got a lot of new faces. We got EJ here.
Thank you.
That season birthed EJ. I believe the episode was Heating Things Up was your first episode, I believe. I think you were on like maybe one before that, but that was like your first real episode. That was your first test run. Was Heating Things Up.
Had to make sure I would do good on camera.
That's
I gotta
right.
Stay PC.
No. I always wanted you on the show. I always told you that. So I'm glad that you're on the show now. Always wanted you on. We got Clay Jones. Got Clay Lee came on the show for an official. Well, you guys were on that. That's what it was. You guys were on the 6 Hour Spectacular the year before. But this was your first, that was your first real season where y'all was consistent guests.
We was here. We was out here
ready
doing
to
stuff,
go.
Eating stuff.
Doing crazy things, talking crap.
Suffering.
That's right. We also got the birth of Electra Soul on the show. Another great guest. Another great guest that I could talk to about spiritual things. You know what I'm saying? Haunted things, manifest things, things like that. So that's what I really liked. I hope I'm not forgetting. Did I forget anybody on season 4? Let me just quickly look. How did you feel about your participation or season 4 from what you remember?
From what I remember, I think I did all right.
You liked it. You had fun?
I think I did okay. I think season 4, the episodes I seen without me, pretty fucking good, bro.
Pretty good. You were a fan?
I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, if you haven't seen it, that interview with our math teacher is pretty fucking good.
That's right. We got Mr. P on the show. That's what I'm saying. I forgot.
Good. That's pretty
I forgot
solid,
things.
Bro. I'll be forgetting about Mr. Badula, bro.
I forgot about Mr. P.
Oh, man.
So there was that. Am I forgetting anybody else? No. I hope I'm not. I don't think I am because Miss J was on the last season, the season 3. So yeah, we're good. I had a lot of fun though from what I remember of season 4. I had a lot of fun. We got it to the whole timeshare incident with Pastor. That was a great one. We went down to Myrtle Beach to see EJ. We got to see you for the first time in I hadn't seen you in about 2 years at this point, right? 2.5.
Something like that, yeah.
It doesn't feel like that because we're always chatting, but
I knew they were like, we got to go do a meeting. I knew someone was gonna do something to accept a deal or.
You mean the timeshare thing?
Yeah, the timeshare.
Yeah. That was wild.
I knew somebody was gonna fuck up.
Yeah, we knew. We knew once they stayed there over the hour and a half that they were supposed to be there that some money was being put on the table, and it was not some credit was being bought. It was not a good idea.
Not good.
The best, bro. The best. You remember this when we call him like, where the fuck? We call Mo like, where you at? He goes, we're doing big business. Like, bro, what?
We're doing big businwas right now.
Oh my God, man. Good times. Good times. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I was talking to Roddy and I told him that the episode with me, you, and Clay at Myrtle Beach was one of my favorites of the season, if not my favorite.
I think my favorite episode, which nobody knows about because it got lost in the lost file somewhere, that we did in Myrtle Beach. You guys don't know about it. It was great. It was great.
Well, describe.
You know the one. You know the one.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna bring it up on air now, you better tell the people what you're talking about.
Oh,
I mean,
it's so long ago. Like I told you.
Basically, we got into it was like a huge fight that we got into in the garage. It was wild. Yeah, we'll never see the light of day. We got into. There was a lot of fighting. It was
guns were being pointed at people's faces.
Yeah, BB guns were being pointed at people's faces. Well, we got into some of that stuff on Who's Getting Eaten on that episode because we got into the stuff about Mo, about him not wanting to go outside with us, and the incident that happened at the supermarket. So we got into that on that episode. We got into pretty much most of the fight over again. So that was fine. That's especially why I was like, yeah, we're good, because that episode was pretty much the garage episode, but better, in my opinion.
Garage episode.
It was better than the garage episode, in my opinion. That garage episode was like 3 hours, and it was just.
Hey, some people like a long episode, man.
Well, that's why you got the 6 hour special. Boom, go listen to that. Go listen to that right there. So I'm very proud of the season, and I am looking forward to what comes in season 5. Hopefully, you are too. I did want to shout out. Bro. It's gonna be nuts, right? You never know. One of us might be on Fishtank.
It's gonna be crazy. Mo's gonna be on Fishtank.
I did call him to come on this episode, but I think he's partying. I think he's drinking rum right now. He's over there puking.
I told you I might be late and I might be a little drunk, but I made it. I'm here.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate your presence. I did want to shout out Roddy's new episode of his podcast, Alter Red, that will be coming out, I believe, on this day. Because this podcast comes out the same day. Ours comes out on Tuesday, where he did a talk show. His first talk show episode was a very creative episode. He had a band, he had guests, all kind of stuff. The only thing is, again, the show is in Spanish, so if you don't speak Spanish like me, you're fucked. But if you do speak Spanish, make sure you go check out Roddy's podcast, Alter Red. He sent me a nice hat from the show. Look at that right there.
Oh, merch.
Alter Red. We don't even got merch. We don't got merch at all. We don't got nothing. So make sure you go check out Alter Red. It should be on YouTube tomorrow or today, as I'm saying tomorrow as I'm recording it. Today, as you're listening to this, if you speak Spanish, go. And if you don't speak Spanish, go on his video, give him a like, and put it on the background. Give him that watch time. You know what I'm saying? He's a very big supporter.
Hold on, because I know if his thing's on YouTube, the YouTube has the subtitles thing.
No, you got to pay for that.
No,
it'll have subtitles in your language. You have to pay to have it subtitled in another language.
Okay, yeah. So it'll subtitle in the Spanish.
I tried that.
Okay.
I did try that. I was like, I had the same thought.
Tech guy, all right. I can barely work my fucking phone.
I had the same thought, and I was like, oh shit, I could just click the subtitles, and I was like, wrong. You're wrong. Anything you want to say before we end this?
It's gonna be a good season. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just have a feeling. I have a feeling some crazy shit's gonna happen. I don't know what.
You have a good feeling or a bad feeling?
If it involves me, probably bad.
I have a feeling I'm
gonna be suffering again.
That's right. Oh, we forgot to say there's a new Pepper coming. Pepper X.
Oh god.
If you made it to the end of this episode, me and Eddie saw an article coming that the same guy that made the Carolina Reaper has created a new pepper.
Our boy, I was telling him he's down here in South Carolina. I go get him fresh. I go pick him my damn. So I'd be like, I want that one right there, the big guy on the left.
Now you go pick the big one up and send that to Crow, and you give yourself the little one.
Right,
give yourself the baby. Really. So there is a new pepper coming, which I believe is at about 6 million Scoville, which I think the Carolina Reaper was about 3 million Scoville. So get ready for whenever that drops, because it's about to get hot. It's going to get wild. Get ready for season 5. Peace and love. See you next time.